Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne.
Wow, he's late.
Lay off, Sally. You know Sean has a good reason for it. I'm sure he'll be coming up the televator soon.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
Look, the screen curtain is changing. Someone's coming up now.
Welcome to The Tech Cove with your host, Sean Hasbury. Hear questions and interviews, plus lots of accessible software, and just a whole lot of fun. And now, here's Sean.
Okay guys, I'm coming. I'm sorry I'm late. Thank goodness you guys have your key, cause okay, let me unlock the door. Okay, I guess you guys are wondering why I called you all here, considering I haven't seen you in a while.
Radio-wise, you mean?
Excuse me, heard you in a while. Anyway, it's the end of the year. You guys were a part of the first season of The Tech Cove, and I wanted to go through a few moments that we had that originally were classic.
I don't like where this is going. Where's that Siri at, anyway?
It wasn't all her fault. You made things worse for us. The way you treated her wasn't right. Well, not all of the time.
Well, either way, I would like you guys to do it. It would be awkward to do it without you.
Well, what's in it for us, Shuni?
The satisfaction of self-promotion, and, cause I like you guys. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about you guys. Come on, don't have me get sentimental this early in the show. Just, here, we'll go with the first clip.
Here, at the Tech Cove, we don't do things like this.
Well, normally. But Siri's nephew wants to feature his, rap track.
So, we're stating a warning right now, so no one will get offended. He's releasing this for Windows 10 and all the other, software hustlers.
Here's my nephew Jaws, with his world premiere song, JFW.
Jaws for Windows is ready. Oh hell, it looks like they found me. Check it. Yo. Oh yeah. I be talking to all the people in the club. Wonder if anybody wants a bit of love. When a brother runs up on you with a pistol out.
Oh, my hip!
Shoot first, gangsta. Let's see what it's all about. Pause. For. Win. Close. Some people be amazed at my game and my flow. Tearing this up like a motherfucking pro. Yeah. Yo, I ain't happy about these ways and these days, but you gotta remember, homie, they the shit that they made us. I'll stay as long as I'm here, with my ice and my block. I'm the toughest motherfucking program on the block. Pause, for, win, goes. Some people be amazed at my game and my flow. Tearing this up like a motherfucking probe. Yo, I'm J.F.W. No, I'm Bubba. In the dirty south known as the screen reading hustler. 1, 2, 3, still gonna fuck with me. I'll shoot you dead, faster than A.E.T. cause I'm on. 4, win, go. Some people be amazed at my game and my flow. Tearing this up like a motherfucking probe. This is to all you gangsters and wannabes out there. Just remember, Jaws got you covered.
What the hell was that?
And now, a message from Morgan Freeman.
Now here's a good question for you. Now why are the homeless always jaywalking? I mean, where are they in such a hurry to get to that they can't wait for the light to change? It ain't home, that's for damn sure. No. And the cops don't do a thing about it. Hobo Jimmy will shut down 6 lanes of rush hour traffic with his Walgreens cart covered in plastic bags, and the popo just sit and watch. But now I'm late to record my next Visa ad. Visa, proud sponsor of running over hobos for as long as I want them to be.
And now, a random flashback with random auto-tuned news.
Crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
A leprechaun.
I want to know where to go next. I want to go. Give me the go. Leprechaun could be a crackhead. He got hold of the wrong stuff. I want to know where to go next. I want to go. Give me the go. I want to run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to go. It look like a leprechaun to me. Look up in the tree. It look like a leprechaun to me. Could be a crackhead. Whoa, see the leprechaun say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. Whoa, see the leprechaun say yeah. Could be a crackhead. I want to know where to go. Say yeah. I want to go. Give me the go. If you want to go, better learn how to catch me. If you want to catch me, better learn how to sketch me. Yeah.
This is what all spells right here. Special leprechaun flute passed down from thousands of years ago. From my great-great-grandfather, who was Irish, I just can't help all.
Now we gotta find a leprechaun, play the magic flute before he's gone.
The leprechaun could be a crackhead. He got hold of the wrong stuff. I want to know where to go back. I want to go. Give me the go. I want to run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to go.
And now, a message from Morgan Freeman.
Hello, I'm Morgan Freeman. In this political season, I endorse adorable kitty posters. My favorite kitty poster is the one where the kitty's licking its paws. Or is it the one where it's playing with a ball of yarn? No, I think it's the one where it has on a hilarious sombrero. Oh, what does it matter? All kitty posters say the same thing. Smile, Morgan, because a world with adorable kitties is a world worth living in. Remember, I'm talking about kitty posters, not bunny posters. I hate bunnies. I see a bunny on the road, I'll hit it with my car. Stupid-ass bunnies. I'm Morgan Freeman, and I endorse adorable kitty posters.
What does Robert Kingdon think about the Tech Cove?
I love it.
So join me, Sean Hasbury, at the Tech Cove on www.95-themix.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. Yeah, good times. Hey, you guys remember when I left to go on vacation with Mason?
Oh, Sean, that reminds me. He left you a voicemail.
Being psychotic means never having to say I'm sorry.
Food for thought. It's what I thought his motto was.
Yeah, but do you guys remember what happened? It was hilarious to me.
She thinks she's so hot. Especially after last week? Really? What a cunt.
Continually awesome way you have with your introductions. That was great.
Well, thank you. Whatever your name is. Unimportant little girl, I'm off to my Apple car. Don't you wish you were me? Of course you do.
What the fuck?
Gus, focus. This is a PC, at least 15 agent show Sean has here.
Joey, did you hear her? I'm gonna delete her. She's so gotta go.
Wow, Siri is really pushing on the offensive divide, isn't she?
I don't
like
her
her
for a second.
but she's not
I
going to
noticed
work.
she was
Okay,
so
okay,
happy.
one at a time!
I've known she was such a cunt.
Jesus Christ, I need a vacation. When I come back and say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the next show is going to be controlled by all of you, including Siri. Okay, guys, she's getting on my nerves too. She's gone apparently. So, yeah. You have my permission to give her digital hell.
Well, welcome to the show, one and all. It's Siri here, your host for your Apple show. And since I'm the best known screen reader / mainstream voice you all know, I go first at articles today.
I'll fix you, you little.
Sally, don't. Please, don't push that button.
What did you say, guys? I thought so. Anyway, here's the article on more, you guessed it, Apple Me, boogie down with it. Hey wait, that's not what was supposed to play. Hey Joey, Sally, a little help here? Can you guys hear me? Hello, stop it, please. Come on guys, stop that out. Wait a minute, Sean, stop laughing. That's not funny. I was so embarrassed.
Oh God, yes it was. But we have had some really magical, clever moments with artists on the show who've submitted their work to be digitized.
We're proud to present here at the Tech Cove, Stephanie Surretts, because she had to. Dramatized and produced by Sean Hasbury. Enjoy.
Because She Had To. By Stephanie Surrett. Because she had to, she woke up in the morning, and it was gone. She thought that she might be able to get it back, but the doctor told her, no. It had disappeared before, then returned. So she saw no reason to worry. Not coming back this time was unthinkable. Several days passed, and still she hoped it would return, as she stumbled her way through her everyday tasks in total darkness, because she had to. She slipped into a deep depression because she'd lost it. She made messes where once, she had made none when pouring things. She did not cook because, she was afraid she would burn it. Her story time with her kids was now left for her husband because, she couldn't see to read their favorite books. She kept plodding along in spite of all of that though, because she had to. It's Friday night, and her husband wants to take her out, on a date. He says we haven't had one in a long time. He says, so she goes, because she has to. The waiter, at the little restaurant where they always go, takes their orders. She tries to meet his gaze when she gives him hers, but she can't. She doesn't know where his gaze is, but she tries. She has to go to the bathroom. Her husband takes her hand to lead her there. No big deal. Because that's just how close they are. Except, no one tells her that there's a step coming up, and she falls on her face in the middle of the restaurant. She is sure everyone is staring at her, which just makes her face become redder and redder. Someone asks her if she's okay, and she nods after she gets up. She keeps on walking towards the bathroom, even though all she wants to do is turn around and leave. Instead she forces herself to stay, because she has to. It has been months, and she's still in bed. It's no big deal. The house can run itself without her, but they could really use her income. She has been fired from her job of 10 years because her lack of vision made the work she was doing completely impossible, or so her boss told her. So she lay there, because she had to. She hasn't the energy to do anything else. A group of friends are around her now. They're telling her about all of these things that exist for blind people. They've been reading her brochures and information from websites for the past hour and a half. Finally, one of them takes her hand and says, "I know it's scary. I remember when I lost my sight, but you can do it. Just get up off your butt and do it." Late that night, she stares blankly at the computer screen. She wishes she could use it again. She misses being able to scroll through the pages and find all the information that she could ever want. So why then, did she ever not Google blindness? Why had she never known about any of this before? Because she hadn't needed to, that's why. She had been one of those sighted people that felt sorry for them, believing them to be incapable of doing anything for themselves. Until she had become one of them herself, and her friends convinced her that what she'd previously thought was wrong. But wasn't it impossible to do the stuff she'd previously done? How could she ever learn to cook, clean, and would she ever be able to get a job again? She picks up a printed page, and decides to wait until morning to call the number a friend left for her. Because she has to. She can't read anymore, so, she has to wait for someone who can. Through places she didn't even know existed before, she enters a program that will teach her how to cook, clean, do laundry, and whatever else she desires. The program lasts for 9 months. While there she goes whitewater rafting, rides a motorcycle, goes mountain climbing, and skiing. Those were all things she never thought she could do again, but she does them now because she has to. The instructors encourage her. They teach her how to use the white game. In wood shop she makes a wooden dog for her daughter who has always wanted a dog, but has never gotten one. The goal is to make you as independent as possible. They tell her over and over again. So she does these things mostly by herself, because she has to. Because they don't baby her here, and they don't even feel sorry for her. They don't feel sorry for her, because they've been there. They've had to do it for themselves already, and now, it's her turn. They teach her how to cook. They give her measuring cups that are all different sizes instead of just one with all the sizes listed, measuring spoons with braille on them, and something called a liquid level indicator. She didn't know what it was exactly, until she had to pour hot liquid, and they told her to slide it onto the cup at the level that she wanted the liquid to stop. She was amazed. When the liquid reached the indicator vibrated. They teach her how to pour cold liquids, dry ingredients, and to measure them using her finger. She does it, because she has to. She decides, she wants to learn Braille, so she can read to her kids at night like she used to. So they give her a slate and stylus, and begin teaching her. It is hard to learn, and sometimes she wants to give up, but she doesn't. She keeps going because she had to. She wants to get a job when she gets back home. It is a necessity in order to pay their bills. So, they begin teaching her how to use a computer with a screen reader on it. She learns that it is hard to do everything with just the keyboard, and not the mouse. Never the mouse. Not now. But she does it, because she has to. When she arrives back home, she is surprised to learn that her husband has received some training of his own. She gets off the plane expecting to have to show him the proper way to do sighted guide. So she is pleasantly surprised when he says, "Take my arm." She does it, because she has to, and the airport is crowded. They're on another date night. When the same waiter, the same one as before, asks them what they would like, she waits patiently for her husband to order. She is no longer surprised when the waiter looks at her sighted husband, and says, "And what would she like?" Whereas before, she didn't know how to handle it, and just stood there silently while whoever was with her ordered her food. Now, she just smiles, and says she would like the lasagna with pepperoni pizza, and you, sir? Her husband whispers to her that the waiter's face has turned a bright shade of red. She is still laughing when the waiter comes back with her order, and sets it down in front of her. She uses her knife to cut up her food, and her fork to chase it around the plate. Sometimes, her fingers get involved, especially when she drops some on the table. She uses them to help guide the fork to the food by holding the food still, so she can pick it up with a fork. Sometimes, She'll actually move the food towards whatever silverware she happens to be using with one hand, while picking it up with the silverware. She does it because she has to, and because she can.
Anyway, Sally invited me. She said it was important for you that I come, Sean. This better be a year-end show, or the food for the roast is missing. My favorite memory? I'll show you.
Here's a desk. Hello? Is anybody here? This seems like a pretty interesting little store here. I'm guessing the books are just in print.
Hello, I'm Guy Hassan. Welcome to Comics in Power, a digital comic book store in the cloud. Who are you?
I'm Sean Hasbury. I had heard about your store. In the cloud? You mean that this store could possibly be accessible for us blind and low vision people?
Yeah. There are lots of stores today in the cloud. Also a big comic book store in the clouds, like Comixology, which is not accessible for blind and visually impaired people. But this is for the Comics in Power is built for the blind and visually impaired. You get your comic books in audio form.
Really? No way. In audio form?
Yes. Well, Go ahead.
Well, that's a little hard to believe. I mean, but I guess I should look around for myself. And that's the part where I put the 3 clips in, and
Do you want me to introduce them?
Yeah, that would be good. Let's see. Well, I know it's a little rude to pick up books and just kind of randomly go if you guys are accessible, so I'll just bluntly ask, what comics either would you recommend or you guys have?
Well, first we are a completely new comic store, and we're a new project, and we're starting out small, and we're growing bigger and bigger with every month. So right now we've got 2 series for you. One is called Winter, spelled Winter, which is a science fiction epic adventure, which is not for kids. And we've got Aura, which I'll show you in a minute. Let's take a look at Winter. Winter is a science fiction extravaganza, which I don't want to spoil too much, but maybe we should just take a listen to the futuristic world of Liz Winter, who is the heroine of the story. She lives in a future that is a bit far from ours. Check it out.
Page 2. Panel 1. A different time and place. Day. A view from above. Many people enter and exit a junker. A junker is a futuristic subway train, except that it flies. It appears dirty and old. Everything is darkly lit and green. Panel 2. Liz is inside the junker looking around. Liz thinks, "Oh, I can feel special," and then this happens. Panel 3. A close-up on Liz as she listens. AI Liz. "I am special. 200 billion had same thought in the last 30 seconds. 10 billion are 17, like you. Would you like to know who they are?" Liz thinks, "That's Liz. We all have a voice inside our heads that has our name." Panel 4. Liz is screaming into the air and pointing, but at no one in particular. People are looking. Liz. Why don't you tell them to all go form themselves? AI Liz. 800 million had same reaction. 10 million are your age. Would you like to know who they are? Panel 5. Liz is striking the window of the junker with her back, cracking it. She is angry. Liz says, I am special! I know it! I feel it! You can't tell me it's not true! AI Liz says, 100 million plus have had same violent reaction in past week. Would you like to know who they are? Panel 5. Liz sighs, deflated. AI Liz says, 95% of them also were deflated within 5 seconds. Would you like to know who they are? Liz says, ah!
Is there more of the Winter series?
Yes. Winter has been reviewed across the blogosphere as one of the best science fiction comic books today, available today. And it is basically it's a crazy, it's like a crazy movie that is not 2 hours long, but many issues long. As you saw, there are so many people in the galaxy that the government has information about everyone. They know everything about your genetic makeup. They know everything about your emotional makeup. So if you do a crime, for example, if Liz steals the car, they know where she's going to be 30 seconds from now. She thinks she's randomly turning right and left, but they know before she does every decision she makes.
Wow.
And at some point, she actually is hunted down in the world where, as you saw, you cannot be special just because there are so many people. So everything's been thought of and done and expressed, and it's just impossible to be special. So in that world, she is chased by an assassin, and who has government data. So he knows what she'll do before she does. The only way she can survive is to become truly special and somehow step outside herself. So here is, for example, in regular comic book stores, people can open the comic books and read a few pages.
Yeah.
And so let's do that now. This is the part when the assassin comes in. She has nowhere to run, and he is there to kill her. So let's see what happens.
Panel 3. Alex walks into the room, gun in hand. For the first time, we see what he looks like. 40 years old, fit, determined, marginally tall. Alex says, Liz Winter. Liz thinks, oh shit. Panel 4. The police all around draw their guns, aiming them at Alex's face. Alex lowers his gun. Policeman 1 says, gun. Policeman 2 says, freeze. Alex says, stand down. Panel 5. Alex stares down the guns aimed at his face. Alex says, I am Alex Grace, Supreme Agent, licensed to kill. Liz thinks, oh shit. Alex says, you will allow me to eliminate my target. Panel 6. The police lower their guns. Liz thinks, oh shit.
That's pretty intense.
Yes, it is. It's a very intense. It's an intense series. Yes.
That you'd think that the government would use that kind of tracking for blind people as far as not getting lost.
Well, you never know. I can actually make an app for blind people. That's a good idea. In that world, there are apps you can't imagine. People, when they dream, they have commercials playing in their heads. Inside the dream, they have commercials inserted into the dreams. And when Liz wakes up, for example, she checks how many people have subscribed to the dream and watched their dream.
That's got to be dangerous to know your debit card and have commercials in your dream. They wake up, a real charge is there.
That's right. Now that I think about it, maybe they can buy inside the dream. That's interesting. They've got lots and lots and lots of very, very strange apps. For example, there's an app there that allows you to, if you turn it on, you see the people in front of you naked. How does that happen?
Wow.
There are so many people posts about people. The AI automatically collects every picture that's available about the people around you, and what isn't public, an AI makes up intelligently. So basically, teenagers can go around, with just watching everybody naked. That is also something you probably wouldn't want done.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine the App Store or the Android or Google Play Store having something like that. And well, that would solve a lot of people's curiosity, but at the same time, stunt their own shock.
Yes. And shy people would have to get over it because that's the way it is. But those are there's Alex, for example, once has an app called iParent, small I and then the word parent, and it helps him parent because there are so many people. There are too many people than are possible from a DNA point of view. So every person who is born naturally is also, there are 200,000 other people who have his DNA already alive, just because there are too many people than DNA permutations. So when Alex tries to teach his son, to talk to his son, he wants his son to be the best. So he teaches him to be competitive, not with other kids, but with his other selves.
Wow.
He wants him to be more than 99% above his other selves. And he has an app that, again, knows everything about everyone. And it tells him, he says, this is my kid, I want him to be that. The app tells him what to say and how and when, so that the kid grows up this way.
Wow. I'm sure that was government issued also.
I think if it were, the government would want it for itself.
Yeah, but it would also have a better view for the government as far as what the government's saying to the kids also.
Yeah, it's true. So let's move on to our next title here. It's called Aurora. And can I tell you a personal story about that before we
Yes
we check it out?
Yes.
I'm also the CEO and head writer of New Worlds Comics, and it's an indie comic book company, and we had a project there on the website called Comics in Power, which led to the name of the comic book store. And in it, real people told the real stories about how comics empower them, because comic books are almost, I think 95% of comic books are empowering.
They are.
And that is, I think, the only medium that is, that can say that. Not books, not movies, not theater shows. Comic books are built in a way that empowers, because it's stories about heroes and heroines. And I could see that, there were really, really some amazing personal stories, and you could also see patterns. Little girls were empowered by female heroines, and black boys were empowered by black heroes, and gay and lesbian heroes kids were empowered by gay and lesbian heroes, and those things changed their lives. And there are hundreds of thousands, I think, of people who can't be empowered by comic books because they can't read comic books, which is why the comic book store exists.
Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to come here more often. And you said you had a website. What is it?
because people think it's just a visual medium. So, but I also, yeah. So you could also check out, there you go. The Comics in Power store is comicsinpower.com, and the New Worlds Comics website is newworldscomics.com. And you can probably just Google Comics in Power or New Worlds Comics, and you get the project. Or just pick off personal stories and so on. But the thing is that I wanted to create, since I have a comic book store for the blind, visually impaired, I wanted to create a hero that is truly empowering to kids and teens and adults who are visually impaired. So I created a blind hero who really can see, not like Daredevil, who can see better than anyone. And his name is Daniel Price. And just until a little while ago, he could see very well. The story is about, it's right now, it's in the near future. People find on the moon, excavating, they find mechas. Mechas are giant freaking fighting robots. It's like 5 stories high, and they have guns, they can fly, they can do all kinds of amazing things.
Yeah, and they can even talk too.
Well, it depends on, the Transformers are kind of mechas, but they talk, so they're actually beings. Yeah. Mechas are things human beings get into and then use them as fighting machines.
Gotcha.
So they found buried on the moon mechas which are clearly built for humans, but no one knows who put them there. And they drag them to Earth to check them out. But when they do that, they also awaken other types of mechas, which are smaller, faster, and robotic. They don't need humans, and who learn from experience. And what happens is the mechas, the auroras, the good mechas, the ones the humans can get into, can only be used by certain types of humans, not all humans, those that have specific genetic markers. And it turns out that out of 7 billion people that live today, only 20 have those. So basically they created an army out of 20 people with these super fighting machines. And the robots that they're fighting, the bad robots, are called Vespers. And no one knows who they are, where they come from, or why they attack, but they're not attacking Earth. So they send to the auroras to help. And at some point, the Vespers become so good that they wipe out the entire Earth force. They kill everyone except Daniel Price, who gets his eyes basically burnt. He can't see anymore, but he's alive. And he thinks that's it. He's done. He's got his own traumas, and he can't fight. He can't fight in a war. He can't see. He can't aim the guns properly, and he can't see his radar, and he can't, he can't
Now that
fly.
sounds like the ultimate way to lose your vision with depression.
Right. So the thing is, he thinks he's leaving, but the Earth force is saying to him, the Vespers are about to attack in a few hours, and you are our only hope. If you go there and fight and die, because obviously he's going to die, they just wiped out 20 fighters who could see. Then you save us 4 days to come up with a solution. You give us 4 days. And if you don't, they start wiping the Earth right now. So he has to go and do it. And that is the basic essence of what Aurora is. It's a hero who will not gain his sight back. He will not find this mysterious sixth sense that will help him see. He's going to have to find a solution on his own and empower himself and the readers. So again, let's take a listen to what that sounds like.
Page 19. Panel 1. A single aurora stands in the middle of Washington, D.C. Washington is now an abandoned city. There are no people, no moving cars, no planes. The aurora towers over many buildings as it stands in the street with a foot on each road. Daniel thinks, 2 hours later, here I stand, a single soldier, keeping up appearances that Earth's aurora army exists. Panel 2. Looking closer at the glass in the Aurora's head, we see Daniel standing inside the head, wires coming out of his arms and into the machine. Daniel thinks, to stave the loss till the next attack. 4 more days, if the past is any indication. Panel 3. Daniel and the Aurora both flex their arm muscles. Daniel thinks, here I stand, in an Aurora suit, with battle info I can't read, guns I can't aim properly, and an enemy I won't see coming. Panel 4. The sun glistens on the Aurora as it stands in the middle of the city, seen from another angle. Daniel thinks, in the middle of Washington, D.C., a city that will be destroyed today. Panel 5. As seen from behind the Aurora, a group of 6 red dots come in from above. Daniel thinks, then I hear Joe's voice, just like always. Joe's voice says, Daniel, Joe here. They're coming in hot, 6 of them, 40 degrees up.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to have to get the first issue to start off with that, definitely.
There you go, and another one's coming soon. Yeah, and I should also say that Aurora is exclusive to the Comics Inc. Power Store. This means that it comes out monthly, and it comes out first for the visually impaired, and only months afterwards in the normal venues for everyone else.
Wow, that's great. We get first picks.
You do. So, na to everyone else. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm definitely going to have to, even though I want to stay and look around, I'm definitely going to have to get back to the show and get things situated. But I will definitely spread the word about the comic book store.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Comics Empowered is definitely empowered me. I mean, I never thought that anybody would make this accessible for us.
I think it's about time. Isn't it about time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely about time. Oh, before I go, one more question. Yeah. What, if you have any, is or would be your favorite comic book character? Mine is Batman.
Wow. Well, Batman...
Only because he...
not even close. Go ahead.
Only because I like Batman only because he's... except for his vast fortune, there's nothing really that is hindering him from doing anything. He has no special powers. He's just a regular man doing what he needs to do. Mm-hmm. But although I think that may change in the coming issues. But do you have a favorite one?
Well, it took me a minute to think about it because that's I have to pick from hundreds and thousands of characters.
Oh yeah.
But first, I should say that Batman is not my favorite. He's not human. I think he doesn't have really human problems and thoughts, and I've always preferred the Marvel characters the way Stan Lee built them originally, which is a very human thing. So I'll give you 3 really great characters that I love.
Okay.
And they're always dependent on who is writing them. So my first favorite is Stan Lee's Spider-Man. Peter Parker is a teenager, and he was like me. He was weak, and he was bullied, and he had no superpowers, and he was a geek. And even when he got his powers, that was not the end of his problems. He usually won through being a wise ass and a smart guy.
Yeah.
And not because he was the strongest one. And he always had his problems. Stan Lee made him choose between bringing medicine to his sick aunt and having to go fight and save people. He was the most human, and I think, and the most likable.
True.
And my other 2 were written by Chris Claremont, and one is Rogue, who was an X-Men.
Yeah.
she was a thief and a bad guy, and but she had a lot of spunk and great good nature, and she turned around, and that was great. And the other one, also written by Chris Claremont, is Storm.
Another good one.
Also, yes, she was again an X-Men. She became the leader of the X-Men. She was, because she had weather powers. People thought she was a goddess in Africa, and she had to fight a lot of demons inside her, especially when she lost her powers, but still led the X-Men. That was the part of her that I most liked. She was so strong and so great that she led the X-Men without powers.
Wow. A great CEO with a great store. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to come back here.
Good. We've got more and more comic books coming every day. And also we've got a great daily newsletter with tons of links that catch you up on the latest and comic book links, but also 75 years of history to catch up on. So you get all the info even before you get some of the comic books, just so you know everything that's going on.
That's
and
great.
we just did Comic-Con. So after Comic-Con, we just sent links, the best links about the best panels. Today they're available on the web.
Cool. Well, thank you for letting me stop by, and I definitely, definitely appreciate finding this place.
My pleasure. Come back. Next month we've got a comedy coming out called Goof. So, yes,
a comedy comic book. That's kind of neat.
Yes. It's about the goofiest superhero who ever lived.
All right then.
With you too.
And we will definitely speak later.
Absolutely.
Hello?
Hello, I am a doll.
What's your name?
I am drooling Doreen.
Who?
Doreen, the drooling doll.
A real drooling doll?
Yes, buy me. Mail me to all your little enemies.
Why?
I will drool all over them.
Really?
I will drool all your favorite liquids.
Like spit? Can you drool real spit?
Yes, I can drool real spit.
Can you drool like purple permanent ink?
Yes, I can drool purple permanent ink.
Can you drool like puke?
Yes, I can drool real vomit.
Ooh, wow.
You don't have much of imagination, do you?
Why?
What else can you drool? Battery acid.
You can't drool battery acid.
Yes, battery acid.
Not real battery acid?
Yes, listen.
Wow, you are so cool.
Buy me. Mail me to all your little enemies.
How much you cost?
I am only $129.95 plus shipping.
Is there other stuff you can do?
I am drooling Doreen. Drool is my only bodily function.
Oh, okay.
But you should talk to my sister.
You have a sister?
Yes, she's a doll.
What's her name?
Peeing Pauline.
Oh, wow, cool.
No, actually, hot. And scalding.
If there's not one thing that I've shared moment-wise, I actually didn't have to do with technology, just creating different content for the show, which I thank each and every one of you for listening into. There's a piece that I shared with you guys that had to do with very, very low tech. Humanity. You're you, and in this world you're never alone. No matter what group people try to put you into, everybody connects to everybody. Kind of like Facebook, but without the strings. So, I'd like to share this story with you all. If you're just one unit, it'll help you be comforted. If you're 2 or more units, well, unless you're a moment, but if you're 2 units, then it helps you give more love to those single units out there. Dating wise, I figured you guys knew what you were talking about. You're a smart crowd who listens to the show, and I can't wait to see what happens this year. Thanks for listening, guys.
I think it's time for some interactive radio.
Okay. You are going to hear a story. And the way you respond to that story is going to tell you what category you fall into. But it's not a category of race or religion or gender. No, it's a different kind of category.
Okay.
The story is by Simon Rich, and it's called The Children of the Dirt.
According to Aristophanes, there were originally 3 sexes. The children of the moon, who were half male and half female, the children of the sun, who were fully male, and the children of the earth, who were fully female. Everyone had 4 legs, 4 arms, and 2 heads, and spent their days in blissful contentment. Zeus became jealous of the humans' joy, so he decided to split them all in 2. Aristophanes called this punishment the origin of love, because ever since, the children of the earth, moon, and sun have been searching the globe in a desperate bid to find their other halves. Aristophanes' story, though, is incomplete, because there was also a 4th sex, the children of the dirt. Unlike the other 3 sexes, the children of the dirt consisted of just 1 half. Some were male and some were female, and each had just 2 arms, 2 legs, and 1 head. The children of the dirt found the children of the earth, moon, and sun to be completely insufferable. Whenever they saw a 2-headed creature walking by, talking to itself in baby talk voices, it made them want to vomit. They hated going to parties, and when there was no way to get out of one, they sat in the corner, too bitter and depressed to talk to anybody. The children of the dirt were so miserable that they invented wine and art to dull their pain. It helped a little, but not really. When Zeus went on his rampage, he decided to leave the children of the dirt alone. They're already he explained. Happy gay couples descend from the children of the sun. Happy lesbian couples descend from the children of the earth. And happy straight couples descend from the children of the moon. But the vast majority of humans are descendants of the children of the dirt. And no matter how long they search the earth, they'll never find what they're looking for. Because there's nobody for them. Not anybody in the world.
Interactive radio test. Which category do you fall into? Test subject number 1, Elise Spiegel. Does that do anything for you?
Medium.
That's like you being nice.
Yeah. It does nothing for me.
So that reaction,
Just crickets.
is what gave me the idea that this story may be some kind of categories test. Because when I first read this story, I was in a little bit of a darker moment of my life, and I literally threw the book down with joy. So when Elise got
crickets,
I picked the book back up to figure out what was so great about it, and I discovered that I think the source of its power comes from 2 words. Vast majority.
The vast majority of humans are descendants of the children of the dirt.
With those 2 words, Simon Rich does a very kind thing. If you are someone who is alone and thinks yourself a little off in your aloneness, you are suddenly scooped into a box with a whole pile of other lonely people, and you feel better. And that is the strange power of categories, because nothing about you is actually changing. But by simply getting a line drawn around you, you get some real relief.
Yeah. It does nothing for me.
Unless, of course, you aren't a member of this particular category.
Crickets.
But for the people in the group, this is Sean Cole, radio producer who happened to be stopping by during a rougher patch in his love life, and I forced him to read the story. The effect is real.
Oh, God. I think I'm a child of the dirt. And I like how they invent art and wine to dull their pain.
Me too, man. High five.
Ew.
Welcome to the club. So, if you laughed, if this story lifted your spirits in some tiny way, you are probably lonely. But here's the kind of frustrating thing. The founder of our most wonderful club, Simon Rich.
I mean, I'm sort of shocked that you asked me to read that one. I'm usually not that bleak.
The story doesn't work for him anymore.
I actually now am in a really happy relationship.
He had me look at the dedication page in his book for Kathleen.
Yeah.
How did you meet Kathleen?
We met at a gay and lesbian fiction class. I assumed that she was a lesbian. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of me, but she thought that I was a transgendered female to male person.
I guess you're sprightly?
Yeah, I get a lot of thank you ma'ams when I shop. We went on a date and
fast forward over half a decade.
We're going strong. I just sort of feel like a guy who won the lottery.
Its charms are lost on him.
Feels like it was written by a different person.
Well, for the rest of us, who find its last 2 lines like a kind of worry stone.
Because there's nobody for them. Not anybody in the world.
Totally inert, but deeply soothing. Enjoy.
Because there's nobody for them. Not anybody in the world. Because there's nobody for them. Not anybody in the world. Because there's nobody for them. Not anybody in the world. Because there's nobody for them. Not anybody in the world. Because there's nobody for them. Not anybody in the world. Because there's nobody for them. Not anybody in the world.
I'm Sean Cole, and I'm a child of the dirt.
I am Jennifer Canton, and I'm a child of the dirt.
I am Megan Ekman.
I'm Lulu Miller.
I am Austin Smith.
I am Ben Pajak.
And I am a child of the dirt.
Children of the Dirt. We'll be back next week.
Lulu.
Thanks for listening to today's Tech Cove. We hope you've enjoyed today's program. Tune in again next week at the same time for another edition with Sean Hosbury.